I were in Gardenia. I'm in Phoenix, everybody, but I say good morning to Gardenia anyways every morning just because I miss them guys up there. We got Ed co-hosting today from the Lanai up there in Gardenia. You can see pictures of the Lanai on Instagram. I'll tell you all about that here shortly. Let me get my promos linked back up, queued back up here since I got a bunch of links instead of those lined up. So obviously today, you're not looking at Adam Kokesh, you're looking at Jim Freedom. I don't have my Jim versus the Man logo up anymore, or where it says Jim Freedom over there. That's all gone from StreamYard. We had some changes recently. Adam is on a flight. I don't know if you saw recently, he was in Mississippi doing a live event for the marijuana laws out there, which are still draconian and absolutely absurd. And I can't even believe it. I didn't even know that there were still places that did that kind of prohibition level. It's insane to me, but they were there doing their due diligence, speaking to the people, and they had some cool live streams I enjoyed watching. You should check those out as well. Those are all over his pages and Joey Lee's page, Yeah, Mary Jane. You can find them all over if you know where to look for Adam Kokesh in Mississippi. Anyways, they're on their way back from that. Flights have been delayed, flights got changed, and all kinds of crap. So here we are with Jim versus the Man. We're just going to ramble. We're going to make it today as we do regularly on shows where Adam isn't here. I'm going to post right now. Boom. Just now, as I'm talking, a link just pulled up in your chat. It should have, unless you're on a delay. And that is, you can click the link, but I always tell people in my emails when I send it to them, I say if you copy it and paste the link directly into your browser, it works better, I think. But you copy that link into your browser, it's real easy to sign in. You don't have to sign in, do an account or anything. You just click permissions for your video, and you can even easily go like this, and then you're an audio caller. There's one button. You can come on, you can log into the StreamYard, and you can click your camera off before you even get put into the show, so that when you pull up, you'll look like this, and you can just talk to me in audio format if you're camera shy. No big deal. So you can do an audio call in that way, just so you know. Morning, Healthy Disrespect for Authority. Nice to see you again. First thumbs up. Nice. She had to do that because Tim was first to comment. So good job, Tim Johnson from YouTube, commenting first. We're also on Twitch. That's the link I sent through Adam's name on his Twitch account. So feel free to watch on Twitch. We had a pretty good time. We had a pretty good turnout last week. With everybody, we at one point, I think we were up to 22 something viewers or something. I know all of them weren't from our main list, so there was some random viewers. The one cool thing I like about Twitch is there's a lot of international viewers. Twitch seems like, it almost seems like YouTube is obviously worldwide, but I see a lot of videos about America on YouTube and from America and et cetera, and a lot of the commenters and everything are the same. But in Twitch, it seems like I've noticed a lot more foreign viewers, and I love when they end up commenting, because I love getting perspectives from different parts of the planet, different parts of the floating rock in space we all share. Craig, good morning. Good to see you, friend. Glad to have you with us. Thanks for participating. So yeah, as I said, if you want to call in, there's the link for you. We'll do that. As far as promos go, let's go ahead and knock promos out of the way. We got our public Telegram channel. I'm sure you've heard me talk about this, but if you're watching new and you've stumbled across the show, just so you know, that's a public Telegram channel, t.me/Adam versus the Man. Everyone's welcome to it. There's 50 people in it or something now. Basically, that's the place you can go to know everything that's happening with the show. We got links, everything we end up talking about on the show, we post links to in that group. If there's changes to the format, if things are going to be happening, if we're going to be taking a week off or some crap, any updates, easily t.me/Adam versus the Man would have everything you need there. We also have a private Telegram group that's pretty cool. The private group, we share links with each other, and those are the links, some of the links that we choose from to talk about on the show. Then once we talk about them on the show, then we put the links to them in the public Telegram. You see what I'm saying? So the private one is link sharing to discuss what we want to talk about live. and the other is for afterwards. So if that makes sense to you. If you want to join the private Patreon, the private producers club, you can do so at the $10 a month level on Patreon. Patreon.com/Adam versus the Man has $1, $5, $10, and $50 a month levels to support the show. $10 a month is the sweet spot that'll get you access to the private producers club, so you can be in the backstage private chat with Adam and myself and everybody else, Ed and all the co-hosts and all the other team members from the show. So definitely cool. Definitely get involved with that. Next, we talk about HomefrontBattleBuddies.com, the veterans nonprofit organization where all of your donations are tax deductible. So that's a great thing. I was actually thinking about this, and one of my ideas is that I want to see if we can get Homefront Battle Buddies added to the Facebook list of when people have birthdays, they can say they want people to donate to a nonprofit of their choosing for their birthday present or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. And we need to have Homefront Battle Buddies as an option for people to advertise tax deductible donations for a great cause. So I'm gonna look into that. Check out HomefrontBattleBuddies.com. Click all the buttons, read all about it. It's an excellent organization. And if you have anything to give, remember it's tax deductible. Next, Instagram. I told you about the lanai that Ed is standing on. You'll find pictures of it. Let's see if I can scroll and find a picture of it while I'm describing the pictures and videos of everything in life up there in Gardenia. Here's a picture of them standing on the lanai. That's G.I. Mary Jane and Mr. Kokesh standing on the lanai. That's where our co-host is today. We're going to get to him in just a few seconds as soon as we're done with promos. But make sure you check out all these pictures and videos on Instagram. Tag is at the Garden of Freedom. Easy to find. Great pictures and videos. Awesome pictures and videos. Like high quality, really good photo shots. Like, I don't know. If you look earlier, me and Adam actually used to literally kind of have sort of competitions of posting the best, posting the coolest looking shot. The Crypto6.com, best website to learn about the Bitcoin church that was raided up in Keene, New Hampshire. We got QR codes like you see on screen here. You can donate those, donate cryptocurrencies to their legal funds. This button right here gives you the address. We'll go ahead and click through it so you can see. You click this button, you scroll down a little bit. This is the address, so you can write Mr. Nobody, who's still sitting in a cage right now. Let him know you're thinking about him. Let him know you think what happened to him sucks, and you're hoping that everything works out. Next, GoGreenEnergyOnline.com, the best website we send people to for do-it-yourselfers that are looking to learn more about solar panels, micro wind power, zero energy homes, anything going off grid, anything getting yourself more self-sustaining and getting yourself off of the mainstream grid is good. So GoGreenEnergyOnline.com is the best website to help you do that. So give it a visit. Okay, we're done with promos, so we can cancel those out. Let's go to our co-host, Mr. Ed on the lanai. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, Phoenix from Gardenia. How you doing, Mr. Jim?
Thank you. It's a beautiful day. I'm doing well.
Hey, we shift on the fly whenever is necessary. I guess a flight delay might have caught them unawares or something. You know how everybody's being delayed nowadays for whatever reason. Well, we got the show covered. There's plenty of news. You and we could talk. You and I could just talk amongst ourselves for 2 hours, and everybody would love it. We got plenty of people out there that we love in our audience. Can I take a second with Homefront Battle Buddies?
Sure.
I am the vice chairman of the board of directors of this 501c3 corporation. Sorry. We're kind of stuck in my throat for a second there, but I got it out. We're doing this for a really good cause, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and genders of all types. Anybody that stumbles across here, hey, we'll welcome anybody because we're about freedom. That's something between Adam and I. We got a thing between liberty and freedom, but that's for another day, buddy. Today, you and I'm here to support you and whatever you need. Is there anything I can do to help you start your show out?
Well, oh yeah. I didn't come up with no comment contest, so while you can think about that for a second in your head while we bring on the traditional.
Yeah. It's time.
Oh,
rookie, rookie's cough. Dan Peterman, hello.
I love
good morning. Too unique. Whoop-de-doo. Hey, we got a bunch of people here.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Dan Peterman? You're watching
Jim
on
Johnson
Facebook. That's first. A rarity. We get a rarity of people watching on Facebook. I wonder if he's watching on my Facebook or if he's watching on Adam's Facebook. Probably Adam's, the chances are, but it's funny. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. So what do you think? You got a contest today, or should we make something up on the fly?
I still got this song on the brain. I'll tell you what. How about, what is the best type of cannabis you've ever smoked? And what did it do to you that you liked so much that you're saying it's the best you ever had? And then we'll pick whoever has the best response that we may or may not agree with, and we will allow them into the Producers Club. How's that sound?
I guess. I mean, if somebody can be pretty creative, I don't want people just to say, name some, because I'm one of those people. This is a topic. I'm one of those people that I don't give a shit about the name of your pot. You know what I mean? It's never like that. Doesn't make any sway to me. I guess now I've started to, through the dispensaries, I've started to recognize strains. Oh, I remember that one, and I remember I liked it. So I guess that helps. But I don't know. It's just, there's other ones that are comparable, and it's not, like somebody's going to tell me on the thing, Purple Urkel or whatever, that's a pretty common one, I'm sure, but they're going to name some funky name that I've probably never heard of. And then they're going to tell me that, it makes them raid their fridge. They're going to come up with some funny pothead pundit about being hot. That's funny. That's not. Well, how do you pick a winner from that, though?
Because I smoked a lot of different strains. I remember a lot of different things and what different strains did to me. And like Mary Jane. Gee, I'm Mary Jane. She's really good at that stuff. That well, she's better at it than I am because she knows what terpenes and what this and that.
She knows way more than.
Oh man, it's more in depth than that. But I remember the different types that I remember, and then because when it first started, I've seen the evolution of all of this stuff. Okay, I've watched it evolve from, buying high school Mexican dirt weed off of the street, or all the way up to, when they started getting quality strains and started doing cuttings and started crossbreeding. I know what Durban poison is because that was one of my favorite shatters, concentrates. And then not too long ago, come up with one of the pens that said Durban Haze, and it kind of it had the Durban taste, but there was something different to it that
it was more hazy.
The Durban poison was different, so I can recognize a lot of things. So if somebody's talking out their ass about something that's popular or whatever, I'll know it pretty much. I think. I mean, I'll have a good idea of it. So if you got a better contest, come up with it, man. I'll go with anything you come up with, Jim. It's your day.
Mike Freeman suggests worst best reason to miss a plane.
I don't care. I'll go with anything, man.
We'll go with either one. Give any answer.
The answer is always yes.
Yeah. Make us laugh. Most interesting, most unique comment in general. I don't know.
Yeah, Mike Freeman sex. Yeah, that's a good
one. I
like
Pat Martin's. my favorite shit that gets you stoned. I like the way he spells favorite. He must be from across the pond, our friend watching from Facebook, Pat Martin.
But see, that's the thing, is some hit me different or harder or less hard, and some aren't worth a crap, So if you say, hey, this is really good, it looks good and all of that, but it's blah, blah, blah. And it's, I remember blah, blah, blah. And that was really crap. And it's like, no, I don't want it. I mean, that's a big help. If nothing else, you accumulate experiences in life to help you avoid the pitfalls and dangers that are in front of us everywhere. So,
yeah.
All right.
Faux show. Okay. All right.
Hey,
Well,
whenever you need me, man, I'm there for you. You want to ask my opinion on any of your news comment, pull me up and I'll tell you what I feel and think. I will do that every time, and I'll never pull any punches. I was telling my wife last night, I've gotten to the point where I'm old enough where I tell everybody the truth, whether it hurts their feelings or not. Oh, your poor feelings. I don't care. I give everybody the truth, and I hopefully they honor that they're going to get a truthful answer when they come and ask me a question.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet. All right, cool. Well, I'll call for you. I'll see you here in a little bit. Let's go through the comments one time real quick before we go to some links. Poor Dirt Farmer on YouTube. He says, my suggestion is teach people to use pH testers and parts per million testers, ppm, fertilizer instead of being 1 scoop per gallon growers. That's a little bit above my expertise level, but I encourage people learning new shit all the time. So that's, learn pH tester. Well, the pH testers are pretty easy as far as I understand. Put the water in, put the chemicals in. Yeah, you got to read the charts and know how much to put in. But anyway, cents a million, circa 1981, because a friend grew it. Nice, that's cool. Yeah, there's probably something to it when somebody or you yourself personally grow it. It might be. I've grown exactly one plant in my life, and it was 20 years ago, and I wasn't impressed with what I was getting elsewhere compared to what I was getting elsewhere. So I didn't know what I was doing. This is what it boiled down to. But anyways, from Agent Fox Mulder 11 watching on Twitch, as someone still living under weed tyranny in the South, I'm jealous. Oh my God. Like, that's where Adam just was, in Mississippi in the South, and you're still living under weed tyranny. It blows my mind. That literally, I can't, with everything that's going on with weed in the world today, with all the proof, not speculation and stories, but all the evidence and proof that we have of its medical benefits and of its positive benefits and of the lack of its negative benefits and side effects. And states still get away with locking people in cages for it. I wonder, in the South, are there how can people not force that change? Like, is it because of the population? Are they mostly an older generation or something that's still against pot? Like, I don't get it. I just can't. Somebody's got to explain that to me. I used to read to my plants and sing to them. That's from Retribution Sender Zero on YouTube. That's I've heard that's good. Again, I'm no botanist. I don't have a green thumb. I don't claim to have a green thumb. I'm sure I could figure things out. I could learn. But I've heard that, and that makes sense to me. That's logical to me. A plant is a living organism. Who's to say it doesn't respond to stimuli, to personal things? The solid South seems to be the last on the train. Yeah, on the weed train, on the de-prohibition train. That's crazy. They're still trying to figure out how to steal the most taxes from it. See, I mean, that even that excuse don't work for me, because all the other states like Arizona, Jesus, man, they're circle jerking each other right now because of how much they're taking in taxes on marijuana, man. They're just bathing in their own freaking glory. So if the South is trying to figure out how to get more than people like Arizona have already figured out how, I mean, what do you mean you're trying to figure out how? You say, okay, we'll legalize it at 25% tax. eat it, and then they just pass it and then they do it. And then all of a sudden, everybody, like around here, yeah, everybody's pissed about it, but you want pot, you want to be able to just go to the store and buy it, you're going to pay that 25%. It's not 25% enacted exactly here, but it's actually over that technically, because the way they screw us out here is you have the state tax of, I believe that one's 16% or 18% or something like that. And then you have, it's either 16 or 18. And then you have a city tax depending on where you are. So if you're in Tempe, if you're in Phoenix, if you're in Mesa, and all of those are pretty much about the same, anywhere from 8 to 10% city taxes on top of the 16 to 18% state tax. So it ends up being damn near 20, 25, 28% fucking tax on everything you buy out here. It's ridiculous. On this note, actually, one thing I want to bring up, mint dispensary out here. I won't say which one because I don't know if that matters or not. A dude will get in trouble. I can't imagine he would. If he would, that would be ridiculous. But anyways, the last bud tender I had, actually it was 2 bud tenders ago. He was ringing me up and he goes, okay, he says that's 101 whatever after government theft. And I looked at him, I said, thank you for acknowledging that and referring to it like that. And actually, it's funny, he was a cool dude, and it's funny because I asked him, just because I said, have you ever heard of Adam Kokesh? And he goes, yeah, I know him. And who knows if he was bullshitting or not, or if he was just trying to act like he knew what he was talking about. But he goes, yeah, I know him. I said, I produce his podcast 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. No shit, really? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, so yeah, you should step by, check it out. So he should comment if he is watching, but who knows? I told him it was early in the morning. Who knows what his hours are? Who knows if he's able to watch? Maybe he'll watch later and reach out to me, get a hold of me or something. That'd be cool. But I just thought that was cool because he acknowledged it, and people. It was almost like I could feel, like I could almost tell he did a really good job to make me feel like he wanted me to understand that there was a gun behind his head forcing him to charge me that tax. You know what I mean? Like he was like, this after government theft. Like he was almost apologizing for the tax as he was doing it. Really cool guy. I liked it. Okay, let's see. We got all I see is First Amendment auditors. So I'm going to read this comment because I like First Amendment auditors. Poor Dirt Farmer on YouTube again. First Amendment auditors always watching and filming the police. They just don't like me. Why don't they like you? I'm read that out of context. Florida has medical, but we can't grow. We have to buy our license and our product from our mafia government. That's horrible. Jeez. Okay. Has legalization put random weed dealers out of business? Not really, no. For one, because of the fact that you can grow out here. That was one of the other stipulations of legalization in Arizona, is each individual is permitted to grow up to 6 plants for personal use each. So, I mean, you're a husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, you can grow 12 plants in your house. And that's plenty to cultivate enough if you know what you're doing to have some to sell. And obviously, how many, people that want to make money are going to be like, oh, hey, that's pull that 7th seed out. We don't want to, how many people are like, oh, we got to have 6 strictly. I'm sure plenty of people are, but there's plenty of people that are like, yeah, whatever. We're allowed to grow plants now. So I'm just going to make this room full of a couple dozen plants, and that room's going to be full of a couple dozen plants. And as they grow, they're going to cycle them and keep fucking weed going out into the world. And whether or not it's better or worse, who knows? It's luck of the draw at that point. That's the problem, is there's no standard on the street pot, like when people are growing it and people are doing it. They don't like me because I film them. You film the First Amendment auditors, or you don't like the cops because you're a First Amendment auditor yourself that films the cops? I'm so confused right now, but I feel confident you're going to help help me out and explain it. 6 sativa plants will go a lot further than indica bushes. Indica's better. I like indica better. I like couch weed, but sativa's good too, I guess. It's nice, has nice flavors. Go a lot further than indica bushes. See, that's another thing I didn't really know. I'm not a botanist, so. Videos are very controversial and you curse a lot. Oh. I was in Trump's live speech yesterday screaming Adam Kokesh for president. Nice. Retribution Sender Zero on YouTube says that's awesome. I wonder how many people are either here watching because of that or just went and actually searched them because of it. I'm always curious about that, how effective trolls really are at getting people to just curiosity click. Yeah, like Mike Friedman says, Cali's black market for weed is wide open due to the high taxes. It's pretty much the same out here. Plenty of people still go to the dispensaries, but plenty of people still look for their buddies that got the hookup to get it pre-tax. But a lot of those buddies in the black market are getting greedy, and they're still taxing. They're just taxing less because they know that they're, because people are going to pay it. Oh, you want to go to the dispensary and pay 27%? They don't give you a percentage either. They just raise the price. It's not like the street dealer doesn't be like, yeah, I'll give it to you for 60 and then say it's 70 because of tax. You know what I mean? It's stupid. They say $70. Give it to me and you can have this. Whereas obviously the stores are like, all their signs are, pre-pack order, $79.99, blah blah blah. Fucking, if you can find those. But then you get to the register and there's a $115.82. Say it was $80. Oh, sorry, taxes, government theft, ridiculous. Indica gives me the spins. Yeah, you got to find a personal. You got to find a personal niche. Okay, Poor Dirt Farmer does record the police. And you know what's ridiculous about this? I'm feeling ridiculous right now. I think I know that YouTube channel. I think I've watched it before. So I was, when you're running a show, your mind is somewhere else. I don't know if you know this. I'm not a live stream professional. This is literally probably the 10th or 11th show that I've hosted by myself. Personally, so I'm still kind of a rookie at it, and it's hard to stay focused, in my opinion. I get confused, and but I think I've watched your channel, and that's pretty cool. New York, NC Tyrant Hunter, North Carolina Tyrant Hunter. I've definitely watched his channel. He cusses a lot. Bam. That's what he does. He flips them off, says "bam," and adds shit like that. He's pretty interesting and funny sometimes. Your favorite Cop Watch auditor is Big Nick. I wish we had more time. If I could plan, that's one thing I want to try to do. I want to try to plan a show for an auditor panel like this show. I want to try to plan for the next show that I host. That's what I was starting to say, because it was so last minute this time that I know I was hosting. I didn't have time to get a hold of anybody and set anything up, but it'd be cool if I knew when I was hosting in the future and I could get a hold of my my friends that I know in the auditing industry and have a panel here, and I'll talk about auditing all day. That would be cool, in my opinion. Totally, because I love auditing. I actually had a not a pro, but at least you don't have the dreaded man bun. Adam's got that dreaded man bun. I keep it pulled back sometimes, but I never really put it up. I never had it in the samurai bun like he does, but I think that's only because of the length he has it right now. He may keep it going like that. Is James Freeman one with a big red beard? Yes, James Freeman is an auditor, and he has the big red beard, and he kicks ass. He was actually here not too long ago, and in Phoenix, and we all connected with him, all the local auditors, and I went with him actually too. You can see it. I got a real short video of me hanging out with him. We didn't do any serious uploading. I don't like when I go out with those guys. I don't know. I guess I should still upload my content, but I'm like, I'm recording the same thing, exact thing Jim Freeman's recording. So it's already up in the internet and documented. You know, it's not, people are going to watch his video. I'd rather people watch his video and keep giving him, you know, kudos because he kicks ass at what he does. He really does. He has conversations with cops all the time, but he remains with that edge of like he tries to control the conversation, meaning like he doesn't let them veer off into their cop splaining. He keeps them focused on pointing out that they're wrong. Like that's what I love about him. The whole he'll giggle and he'll talk and he'll have a good old conversation, but the whole point of his conversation with that officer is to let him know that he is wrong in his job, in his duties. What he does on a regular basis is fucking wrong. It goes against, violates the very fundamental principles of freedom. Period. You know. So he is pretty cool. He has one that I cite a lot. That's one of my favorites. That he's done a couple of these versions actually, but there's a couple that are better than the others. Where he asks the cops the same stupid questions they ask us. Like he'll ask him if he can search them, ask him if he can, hey, would you mind putting your weapon away while we talk for my safety? Cops like, no. What are you talking about? I don't know. Long Island Good Audits is good also. There's a bunch of good channels out there for sure. Anyone else cringing at the word auditor because of IRS? I think that was one of the things in the originally that they wanted to, like they were trying to use it. It was ironically used against them. Like, we're going to audit you. Like, that was the whole point. The government's always auditing people, auditing us and fucking with us. And any little thing we do wrong, they're there to drop the hammer on us. But now it's time that the citizens, because that's it too. It's not necessarily just cops either. Obviously, it's Freeman just pointed this out to a cop the other day. He said he doesn't focus on just cops. It's all government officials. Anyone who supposes themselves your master, you know, anybody who works in government and thinks they have some kind of authority over other people's freedoms and rights are wrong. Yeah. So anyways, let's see here. We got some news content to cover. I'm trying to decide which story. I was clicking on links this morning and I didn't really get anything. I didn't put them in any order is what I meant to say. So that's enough. That's enough jaw jacking about auditing though and how awesome they are. Well, last point, I meant to finish my point about auditing and not just auditing the cops. I like it when the guys go to like the city buildings, like the state, whatever, you know, they go to the city hall and they go in and they check out all the public areas and they see if they're given a problem by the representatives that we pay to represent us. We should be able to, think about it, on its most fundamental base, absolutely a tax-paying American citizen, anybody actually, because it's against, it violates freedom to try to analyze each person and determine whether they fit this category or that category to be allowed to do something that goes against freedom. We're supposed to be encouraging. But anyways, so auditing city buildings and state buildings, federal courthouses, things like that. Even the mail places, the post office. Some people have an issue with that. Some people have expressed that they don't like people that audit the post offices because they're not cops and they don't beat people up and they're just performing a service, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a lot to be said about that. Number one, they should still be honoring people's rights. They still get paid with our tax dollars. We still pay them. So we should be allowed to walk in and put a camera on what they're doing on our dime. That's just, obviously, every auditor knows this, and they always point it out, and they're always real obvious about it. They don't go into any closed areas that are for employees only, things like that. We're not acting like we're their boss in that regard. Like, we're not literally over their shoulder. We don't I say we, but when I say we, I'm talking about in general of the auditors I've noticed and watched and encourage and promote. I'll say they don't record personal information. They're not walking up and, violating anything. They're just in the most general sense, standing there and watching what's happening. And they should be allowed to do that because they pay for that service. And they're not allowed. There are a lot of people give them problems about it just because they're trained to. The government officials at every level are trained to disconnect from the people it's supposed to serve. They're trained to separate themselves. You are now a different entity than the public, and yeah, they are obviously, but that's therein is the problem, Well, I hope I've made that clear. I support auditing everywhere, going around with your camera in any public space and testing anyone around you, especially any government officials, focusing on government officials. If a private citizen, walks up and wants to give you a problem about your filming, then you're filming them is not an issue either. I don't necessarily think you should, be walking down the public street to uncomfortably film people's private houses. That would be a different thing, in my opinion. That would be a different thing. That's a whole different thing. You're at someone's house and it's a whole different thing. But focusing on government officials and any private citizens that want to stop you from recording those government officials is where we're at. 360 cameras on our shoulders, that would be tight. That would be cool. That'd be really cool if you had like a backpack with a pole like this and a 360 camera on top that could run a live stream that people could watch and scroll around the video to wherever they want to watch the point of view while you're just walking around in the experience. That would be freaking epic. It probably exists, but I don't have it, and that would be awesome. That would kick ass. And then even auditors could have their backs watched by viewers. Viewers could be looking up because how many times? Yeah, they're watching the scene and talking to a cop. You've seen the cop. You want to see what's happening over here. Somebody walks off. Somebody walks off in the background, and you wanted to see what they were doing because it looked like they were up to something funny or whatever. You would be able to just watch that and watch everything else while still listening to what's going on. God, that would be epic. I feel like I just invented something, but like I said, it probably already exists. So we're gonna get all of that. Man, my hair is just frizzing out today. You guys see this? It kind of drives me crazy when it does that. That's why you keep seeing me do this, but I'm just gonna have to get over it for today. I think it feels humid. It's been raining around here. I don't know. I guess that's the issue. So long hair and humidity is a bad thing. Okay, so let's get to some 360 on a pole. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I think it'll work. Let me look through the news and see what I have here. Okay, all right. I don't know where to start, but we're gonna go ahead and just click share screen, and we're gonna see what comes up first. Mail to jail. Oh, that was the. That's why that was the first. I thought that was an article. Sorry, having some rookie mistakes. Just a few seconds. Bear with me. Censor.news. Okay, this one's the first one I have in my list here. Fake news. No, the FBI did not seize a fully constructed Lego set from a January 6th rioter. It has been revealed that a report by the Daily Beast regarding a fully assembled Lego model of the Capitol found in the possession of a suspect charged in the connection with the January 6th riot. January 6th was fake news. This is from the postmillennial.com. They're calling it a riot. I don't know which side this website leans towards, but when I was scanning over it earlier, they said they say they're making it a big deal about it being fully constructed Lego set. So they're saying the title makes it sound like, no, there wasn't no Lego set. Somebody made that up. But when you read the article, they did actually. Here, you can scroll through it with me. They didn't. Where was it? Oh, now I'm just looking ridiculous, scrolling too fast through a page without reading it. Let me find it before I do this. There was a spot on there where they said the original quote from what the Daily Beast reported, and it didn't seem like to me here it is. The Daily Beast originally reported that the federal investigators seized an unusual piece of evidence from Pennsylvania man indicted last month for his role in the Capitol riot, a Lego replica building he allegedly stormed. Robert Morris, 27, is accused of leading fellow rioters in what prosecutors say was one of the most intense and prolonged clashes with officers on January 6th. Okay, geez. How many times do you want to use the word riot? But right there, I mean, it says a Lego replica of the building. And when you scroll up, they had in the title, they have in quotes, fully constructed Lego set, and in quotes. So see how it's confusing? You know what I'm saying? They're making it a big deal, like, oh no, it was complete bullshit. They didn't find a Lego set that was put together. They just found a Lego set that was still in the box. You know, I don't know. I mean, it still doesn't mean anything. Even if the Lego set was put together or not put together, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's ridiculous. I don't even know why I brought that up. I just thought it was interesting that I saw fake news. I was like, oh, what? I thought when I clicked the article eventually that it was fake news and that they found out that there was no Lego set at all. That was gonna be interesting because that would be weird. Okay, here's some of the beer bug news, if you'd like. This is where the VA XX. I'm trying not to say certain things. I don't think it's going to make a difference anyway, so I don't know why I care. But I'm sure you may have heard about this. It's been circulating. So this one right here is from TruePundit.com. The title is "Ignore No Soliciting Signs. Use Your Script. Vaccine door knocking documents revealed." Ooh, so the scripts that they're using, I haven't actually read this one yet, but I wanted to see if I could find the actual script, and here it is. Oh, and it's a long one too. Oh, and they moved it over to Twitter. Oh, and it's like 18 million pages. Okay, all right. Well, I'll stop this page and we'll switch over to Twitter so you can see it and you can see what page I'm seeing it from. There was a link in the article I just put up to this. The Real Fly posted these pictures right here, and even this right here that has the building number. Vax, not vax. Those willing to be vaccinated. So if they have not received a vaccine, senior, yes, excellent. How was your experience? Yes. Oh no, if they have not. We are working. These are some of the answers they're being programmed to respond with. No answer to getting the vaccine. We are working to bring vaccinators on site to provide vaccines to you and your neighbors. Are you interested in getting it here at your facility? So basically, it's a really long and creative way to say, did you get the vaccine yet? Nope. You want to? I mean, we'll bring it to you. We'll bring it right here. We'll go, well, I just happen to have one in my back pocket. Here, look, we're going to lift your sleeve up. Come on. What are we coming to? This is the fact that they're pushing it that hard should say something to you. That's a senior housing tenant too. Okay. So that's what you do if you're on the seizing. If you're nervous, that's okay. Here is the front page of the document that they're sending people. The Community Health Ambassador Outreach Door Knocking Project to Increase COVID Vaccine Acceptance. I didn't use all the trigger words now, so we're screwed. Helpful hints. If you're nervous, that's okay. We all still get nervous, even if we've done this before. This is this is turning my stomach. I don't even want to watch it. Inform, don't convince. Your job is to equip the person at the door with the information resources needed. That's not true at all. Their job is, I mean, that how do you inform, not convince? If you're not trying to convince them to take the vaccine, which is bullshit because you obviously are, you're informing them that they need to take the vaccine. So you're informing them that they need to be convinced to take the vaccine. You know, you see where I'm going with that? Woo! What is a vaccinator and why all of a sudden is it a real word? The person who does the vaccinating? Person who stabs you? I don't know. I didn't know if that was real or not. Vaccinator Terminator? T. Vincent W. Answer the door in a wheelchair and tell them, yes, you've been in the chair ever since. Oh man, make sure you record their face when you do that as well, please. Anyone watching this that does that, record that shit and post it and tag me in it, Jim Freedom on Facebook. Do you think they want everyone to get it so they're Los on YouTube? Sorry, I should be reading the names and where the people are coming in from. Do you think they want everyone to get it so there's no control group? I don't know, man. I don't know. I part of me thinks they want everyone to get it because of their own control, like it's practice for their relentless propaganda. Like it's practice for them to see. I think at this point they've reached a point where they're pushing the envelope as far as they can. They want to open that motherfucker, and that's the way it is. They're getting away with everything they can get away with. They're pushing this to as many people as possible, going door to door. It probably pathetically and sadly does boil down to fucking money. Big pharma. These companies that are making this vaccine are making. They're getting. It's just stupid. It's all a trick and it's ridiculous. You think they're losing money because they're giving shit away? That money that they're giving away is likely from your tax dollars, one way or another. Believe that. Gregory de Graaf. I was watching on YouTube. Hello from the Netherlands, sir, and from one beard man to another nice beard. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. I'm sure you have a nice beard as well. I can't see yours. You don't have a picture, but I'm sure it is. Kick-ass bearded brother. Appreciate you. Let's see. Also moving on. I'm going to get rid of that page because we're all done with that. Yeah, the Biden administration is going door to door. And let me just be clear. Let me make this caveat. Let me make this perfectly clear for anybody that's watching because people do get easily confused. I personally believe that we would be in this exact same place. We would be right here where we are right now with vaccine door knockers and all the other shit that's happened if Trump were president. If Trump went in and made it, all of this would still be happening. But the storyline works out with Biden instead of Trump because that's how the writers of the show wanted it to go. So, but it would have been the same thing if Trump won. So, just so that's clear as an opinion of Jim Freedom. Let's see. Let's look at some more articles here. Sprinter. Oh, this was kind of dumb, but I like giving her credit and screen time just because she's so awesome, and I think what happened to her is ridiculous. Sha'Carri Richardson. She was at a show. She made an appearance. Sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson stuns at first public appearance since Olympic disqualification. Garners support from Anthony Mackie at the ESPY Awards. So I clicked on this, because I thought that sounds amazing. She made a first public appearance. I thought she was going to talk about her disqualification and all the bullshit that happened to her, but it's basically just her sitting beautifully like that in a crowd while there's a comedian on, Anthony Mackie. Gives a quick little, basically he just goes on stage and gives a humorous way to say he can't believe what's happening to her, and I can't either. Nobody can, because it doesn't make any freaking sense at all. It's stupid. He says that, I don't know, actually that comedian said that marijuana was a de-hancing drug, which I get what he was going for there, but that's not true. It's not an enhancing drug in the way that that steroids are, and the way that drug enhancements are thought of when you use that word. You think, oh, I'm using drugs to enhance myself. That's to make me stronger, to blah, blah, blah. Marijuana doesn't have any of those immediate physical, doesn't make you faster. It doesn't make you, things like that. There's no physical steroidal effect of marijuana. So, at Jim, Kevin Lewis on YouTube asks at Jim, if they can go door to door with the vax, they can do the same with proper voter registration. Sorry, it's getting thirsty. How can I respond to that? I mean, that's true, and I'm surprised they haven't. That would be, I don't know. I mean, this is a little bit different because proper voter registration, I don't know. Like you're talking about going out and getting people registered to vote, and I have a problem with that just because I think the whole voting system is ridiculous anyways. They come to my house, I say, hey, piss off with your voting bullshit. I'm not allowed to register. I'm a felon. So kiss my ass. I'm not even allowed to play your stupid game, so fuck off with your bullshit. That's my response, What kind of conditioner do you use? I have, I don't know the name of it. It's really good shit, though. I've been using it forever. I just know how the bottle looks. I think it's Pantene. Pantene Pro V. I think that's what it is. I think that's what the image is recalling in my mind. Shampoo and conditioner. It's great stuff, too. All the other shampoos and conditioners since I've had long hair that I've been using, I don't know, it's just like I can't take my hands and run it through, you know what I mean? But when I get out of the shower and I put some of that Pantene in there, like silk, man, it's beautiful. But right now it's all humid, so I don't even want to try to run my fingers through it because they get stuck and then it'll be frizzed everywhere, and you guys, it'll look crazy. I look like the alien guy. Retribution Sender 0 on YouTube. I had tacos last night. I want more. Congratulations, man. I'm really happy to know your dinner last night. I got to get back to this one article while I'm messing around. This one, okay, you guys will love this one, I'm sure, and we can go ahead and read it and see if there's anything we should be afraid of. This one is coming from businessinsider.com. Amazon has won permission to monitor your sleep using radar. So much wrong with this title. They won permission to track your sleep using radar. So, for one, they won permission. Like, so I assume it's a court battle or court decision that they won, and now they're allowed because they wrote on their own pieces of paper that they're allowed to do this. But to monitor your sleep using radar. Now, obviously, the obvious question is, are you monitoring people's sleep against their will? Are you monitoring people's sleep using radar in whole neighborhoods, or are you creating a device? Here we go. Scroll the page here, get the page ready. This is hard to run a show and do the graphics at the same time, just for a rookie like me. The FCC gave Amazon permission to make a device that can remotely monitor people's sleep. The device will use radar to track a person's sleep, per Amazon's FCC filing. Insider report in January that Amazon was working on a sleep apnea device. See, I hate the vagueness of this. Let me see if there's anything else to this article. They won permission from the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, to make a device that can monitor people's sleep using radar. Approved document published. Radar sensors to enable touchless control of device features and functions. It also said the device would be stationary, and Amazon plans to use the radar's capability of capturing motion in a three-dimensional space to enable contactless sleep tracing functionalities. Motion in three-dimensional space. So, okay, so far, so it sounds to me like they're going to use lasers, and it's going to track your motion in your sleep. So it's Amazon filed for the FCC's permission to develop its device in June and said radar would help it monitor sleep with a higher degree of resolution. Wait a minute. Amazon filed for the FCC's permission to develop its device in June. That's only a month ago, and they've already won their permission and are starting it. Yet, like things like marijuana can't seem to get studied enough. It has to be thought about more. But I don't know. The use of radar sensors in sleep tracking could improve awareness and management of sleep hygiene, which in turn could produce significant health benefits for many Americans. Not immediately respond to Bloomberg's request for comment on what kind of device it's making. I don't understand it at all, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see if more comes out. Because using lasers and radar, if you're monitoring if a person's moving around a lot in their sleep, that don't tell you much. What can you monitor with radar? I don't get it, but I'm sure there's probably some nefarious plot behind it, some nefarious intention, I should say, behind it. Let's see. We got Patrick Stoopfell on a comment on Facebook. When I put up a tent in front of Portland former pedophile mayor Sam Adams' house, the empty house next door was set up as a surveillance op within 24 hours. That don't surprise me whatsoever at all. Yeah, you get to pushing the buttons of the politicians, and they get scared. They run, and they call cops, and the state. They call the state. They call their buddies. So fuck them. Okay, so Amazon's going to be monitoring people's sleep. Well, they can piss off. I don't care. Let's see what who is this? NBC News. Oh, this is going to be good, probably. We'll see what NBC News is saying about the Cuban protests. This is NBCnews.com. We are no longer afraid. Thousands of Cuban protests against the government. See, I like the main title. And then the subtitle, residents took to the streets in an unprecedented demonstration against increasing COVID-19 cases and deaths and severe economic shortages. So, that's a double speak right there. But first, I'm covering it on my screen like you can see that. Oh my God, that was hilarious. The first title, we are no longer afraid. Thousands of Cubans protest against the government. That's where it should end. Full stop. They're protesting the government. The government are the ones that created the fabrication of the cases, the amount of cases and the deaths, and over exaggerated all of it and ruined everyone's lives because of it. So when they're protesting the government, they're likely protesting that bullshit from the government as well, But this article wants to say that they're protesting, as if they're protesting the virus itself. They're protesting, oh, there's too many deaths. This is too crazy. The government's not doing enough. Kiss my ass. Thousands of Cubans. Let's read a little bit of the article, though, while we got it. Here, thousands of Cubans took to the streets across the country on Sunday in an unusual protest in which civilians shouted slogans against the communist government, such as, "We want freedom and we are no longer afraid." Yeah, see. Yeah. The demonstrations came at a time when Cuba faces the worst economic crisis since the fall of the Soviet Union, an increase in repression against political opponents, and a strained health system during a critical stage of the pandemic. Health authorities reported almost 7,000 new cases and 47 deaths, a record for infections and deaths on the Caribbean island of just over 11 million people. You see how they spent half the time on that paragraph scaring you with new numbers after the part about where they have the economic crisis. In Miami, hundreds of people gathered in the Little Havana neighborhood in solidarity with the growing protests in Cuba. I know my family in Cuba is struggling. People are dying. It's terrible. Miami resident. Now, I don't even think that this person was talking about the virus when they said people are dying. They're talking about from the government. It's terrible. Right now, it's hard. There's no food. There's no medicine because of the government. The COVID outbreak, the whole country is in the streets. Well, they mentioned the COVID outbreak because it's messed up. Here's a picture. There's a lot of people in the streets. Many of them still wearing masks too, which is interesting. So it's maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the people in Cuba are buying into everything of the beer bug virus. In Cuba, the protests began early Sunday afternoon in the municipality of San Antonio de los Baños in the Artemisa province adjacent to Havana. A few hours later, they had spread to the east of the country in provinces such as Santiago de Cuba, the central Malecon of the capital, where the August 1994 Cubans staged their historic protest against then leader Fidel Castro that was violently repressed. Also saw hundreds of people gather on Sunday. Cuban several provinces contacted by Noticias Telemundo confirmed that the government, which controls the only internet provider company on the island, has caused service outages to prevent live broadcasts. Oh, that's interesting. That's why we don't get so many live broadcasts. I do, because I do that. I search. I always just assumed YouTube was blocking it and not letting me see it. But I'll do searches for shit like that, and when something's going on in Cuba, and I'll go onto YouTube and I'll search like, oh, the protest is happening today. So one easy way to help with your searches in YouTube is to do the filters for the time. You know, the protest is literally happening today. So you click the filters to say, and the only shit that's posted today, that filters out a lot of crap. You know what I mean? But you're still going to end up getting all your mainstream streamers, you know, CNN and all them faggots up front on the top of the list. But through further filtering, you can usually find some pretty good live streams of events going on live. You can also click a button. I believe there's a button on there that you can only look at channels that are actively live, so you can see if you can find anything, and you can search hashtags for the area Cuba. Like type in do a search for Cuba, and click on Cuba protest, and click on uploaded today or live today, and that should help you filter out if there are any. It should theoretically pull them up there. So what are we going on? Title is this with a little yeah, exactly. The title is misleading. The primary reason they are protesting is the behavior by the government. Not, see, that's the point I was making, and that's what I pretty much assumed. Yeah, citizens. They're calling them civilians like it's a war zone. Citizens. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna call them all kinds of shit, unfortunately. Oh, Matt Baxley moved over. He was on Twitch. I must not have got to any of his comments over there on Twitch, but I was lonely, so he came over and joined us on YouTube. That's cool. Not much, just listening and replying to Jib, says Mike Freeman. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through. Okay, Retribution switched over. Okay, watching from all platforms now. I'm laughing my ass off. That's him commenting from Twitch now. So we got people bouncing around the show. That's cool. That's cool. Excellent news. Yeah, so let me see if there's any. Okay, there's a video. Let's see what the video's got for us. See if it's anything. It said it gave us a warning. We got a 30-second freaking bullshit advertisement for LASIK. So let's let the advertisement play in the background while I ramble for 25 more seconds. The video, literally, I thought when I first clicked on it, it said warning is something graphic. So it might be some footage from the protest. It might be just some stock footage. Who knows? If it's from, yeah, it's from NBCnews.com. So there's a chance that it's a protest from like 10 years ago, and they're just rerunning the feed because they think they're cool like that. And nobody will notice. But here we go. This is some of the protests. Thousands of protests. Over pandemic restrictions. Exactly. Oh man, that's some. Yeah, that's bad. They're fighting. They're getting violent over there. We better be careful. Jeez, I hope nothing crashed. I should have fully read the warning, I guess. This is why there's a warning. Yeah, people, don't act like that. That's violent and crazy. But, shit does happen when people are feuding. I can't tell if that's a cop or if that was just a protester that got crazy and the people are you're watching this for the first time, same as I am, so you can see. I can't tell if they were cops or not, but the point has already been made anyways. They're protesting the government and the like. Why have a mask on your chin? I don't understand that. Why have the mask to begin with if you're gonna keep having it just on your chin, walking around that whole group of people? What is the point? They're all wearing it, so they're all, I don't know. So that looks like a government official there, obviously. Well, I guess I can't say obviously, but they're pissed, man. They're sick of shit. See, I mean, it's what happens eventually in every society in every world. It's just the way it happens. Shit goes down. And governments and empires get to a certain point, and then all of a sudden, not really all of a sudden, but yeah, it evolves into a point of the people saying enough is enough, and realizing when a critical number of people realize, like in the Bug's Life, like in the movie The Bug's Life, when all them ants and the grasshoppers come down and okay, the main grasshopper was bitching at the other grasshopper who said it's just one ant, no big deal. And he gave the speech about letting one ant stand up to you, then they'll realize that they outnumber us 1,000 to 1, and our game will be over. Basically, total paraphrase because I'm butchering it because I haven't seen it in probably 10 fucking years when my kid was a kid. So, yeah. Anyways, Bug's Life has a great moral. I think it's even been made into a meme and stuff like that. We all know we outnumber government officials 1,000 to 1. When we all realize this and we all stand up willing to say enough is enough, then enough will be enough, and we'll see some change, and it'll be interesting. Here's something that's fun. I'm probably gonna be here at this what I'm about to show you just to film it and maybe talk to some people on the streets, possibly. I don't know. I feel like I should be able to have fun with this one. But former President Donald Trump to speak at Phoenix rally on July 24th. So that's not too far away, but a couple weeks away. Who knows what he's going to say? I'm sure, obviously, he's Start over. I assume what he's going to talk about is the election and it being a fraud and blah, blah, blah. Former President Donald Trump is set to make his first return to Arizona since the 2020 election. He will speak at the rally to protect our election. The rally to protect our elections. Yeah, see, you're already lost me there. The elections that are so ridiculous. I can't even participate in your stupid game, so piss on your stupid game anyways. This I thought this was funny too. Let me read this sentence. The event will take place on July 24th at the Arizona Federal Theater in downtown Phoenix. Trump's appearance coincides with the earliest expected conclusion of the Arizona Senate election probe, which could release findings anytime between the end of July and early September. What a really long way. It coincides with the earliest expected conclusion of the Arizona. So wouldn't it be funny if the election probe comes out? That's what I feel like a lot of people are going to be hoping on, that the election results are going to somehow offer some kind of proof, as if that would matter, and that there was election fraud. What are you literally going to redo the election now, a year later, or whatever? Get out of here. Downtown easily controlled. Yes, easily controlled. What? Oh, they're good at easy to control us from getting there to record it. You mean? I don't know what you mean there. Easily, but yeah, I'll be there though, and I'll bet you some of the local auditors and stuff that I know. I'm going to bring you up, Ed, so you can talk about what you were just talking about. Here we go. Comes my dutiful co-host. What up, Mr. Freeman?
Hey,
Freeman.
Success! I got the camera fixed. I'm now coming live from a Hewlett Packard high def camera.
Look at that high def.
Not only that,
good.
But watch this.
Oh boy, we're on a field trip. We're blurry. We got to focus. Tap a button or something. That's a little better. There you go. Oh yeah, there's the view from the Lanai, everybody. That's live in Gardenia. People don't get to see this shot too often, but that is live shot from the Lanai in Gardenia right now. If you ever wondered what it looked like, there it is. There's the famous Adam Kokesh presidential run bus. There's the storage where the solar panels are on top of. You got the wind wall of tires that got knocked over by the wind. That was a temporary wall for an event we had. And yeah, that's a good shot, man. It's a beautiful day.
That's where I live right now, is over in the Freedom tent, or the Freedom trailer.
Yeah, that's the Freedom trailer. Also, that's also the property's first aid tent or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Camp.
Safety tent, safety trailer, first aid trailer, Second Amendment trailer. That's where I sleep.
Hell yeah. Jim, is that you? That's me. I am Jim Freedom. This guy right here, that's me. Thank you. What is your name even? Kiyotishi one on YouTube. I probably messed that name up. I apologize. Retribution says, much love, Gardenia.
It's really nice. It rained recently, and
who is that?
Little bit of cloud, and the wind coming through is just beautiful. Just beautiful.
Oh yeah, life is good up there. I can hear the wind too.
Hey man, Trump thing, holding that Trump thing downtown, they'll be able to cordon it off and only allow people in that they want to allow in. So you're going to have to put on a Trump shirt and something and go, yay, Trump and all that in order to get close enough to be able to do any damage. And take your Trump shirt off that says fuck everybody, and you know.
Yeah, I'll have a Trump shirt and I'll have a piece of tape up here, and then when I pull the tape off, it says "fuck, fuck Trump." That'd be funny. I don't know what I'll do. We'll see. Maybe I don't even know where. I guess I should look that up.
What day of the week is it?
The 24th. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me look at my calendar. The 24th is a Saturday. Saturday.
I'll be
We
there.
don't have no show or anything. Yeah, I'll be there for sure.
I'll be there too, man. We need to get some Adam versus the Man stuff to put on. I need me a shirt.
Arizona Federal Theater. It's Arizona
What's the address?
Federal Theater.
What's the address?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
I'm wondering where.
Arizona Fed Theater.
Hey, D. Vincent W. Man, come on out to Gardenia. We got everything you need already. Just get here. Anybody,
Do it,
come
brother.
on out. We got plenty of room. We got all kinds of bunking, and we got plenty of food. We got everything you need. Just show up. Show up and be really willing to have a good time, because that's what we try and emanate from this.
It looks like it's on 4th Ave in Washington. That's the jail, ain't it?
4th Avenue in Washington
It's
and
400 West Washington Street. That's 4th Ave in Washington, right?
and 700 West Washington that goes from 7th Avenue all the way over is the police station.
Okay, yeah, Phoenix Court. Here, I'll go ahead and I'll show the crowd where are we gonna be. Here you go, everybody. If you know anything about Arizona, here's where me and Ed are gonna be on Saturday, 2 Saturdays from now, not this Saturday. It's right here, Arizona Federal Theater. But I'm trying to remember.
Hey, Jim,
Yo,
let's do a live Patreon from there. We'll give the Patreon people some candy here. We'll do a live show on that Saturday from the event for Patreon only. Adam let us do it. We'll be there. There's 2 of us. We could do a show. And people were begging when you and I were doing it. When we were doing the show, when I was doing the show, they were begging us to do a show, man. They were wanting us to do a show on our own on Saturday. So I think that would go really well if you and I did a show from out there for Patreon and we'd do it live. Give them Patreon people something for their money.
I'm down with that. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk with Adam. I'll set it all up, and you people get ready to meet Ed and
What level?
Jim.
What level is it? Is it for the $1 and up? Is it for all subscribing patrons, no matter what level, or are we gonna put a level on it?
That's up to you, man. You're the producer. It's your show. I got the idea. I'm running with it. You put the levels on you want.
Fair enough. We got a watcher already. Mr. Baxley is gonna be there
Right on.
a Saturday. Yeah, we can do that. We got any comment contests? What was the comment even? I don't even remember. It's just been one long stream of comments. I don't think we're doing a contest today. No contest today. Screw that. Oh, well. Unless you want to go to my Instagram page and pick one of my pictures there. Here, I'll pull it up real quick, actually. Because that's always a good, easy comment contest, I feel like. Picking a good picture and memeing it, you know what I mean? I don't know. My Instagram sucks. You should just go to Instagram at the Garden of Freedom. You could we already did that one. Here's a picture of the cats in Gardenia. This one. Oh yeah, here it is. This is the one. I've been meaning to get people to meme this picture forever. Look at this cat's face. That's a meme waiting to happen right there. So meme that picture, somebody in the comments. Look at that fucking face. He's just looking over like, are you fucking serious? That's like, yeah, actually somebody could do that. Something with this picture in the vaccine, I'm telling you right now, though. Why are you knocking on my door? Are you telling me you're knocking on my door? Or some vaccine or some bullshit.
I can't wait till I get old enough to eat that dog.
Yeah. That scorpion's fucked.
Oh, well, I didn't expect to co-host today, but I'll tell you what, I couldn't have picked a more beautiful day to do it. It's just gorgeous out here. I mean, this is what leaving Phoenix was worth. I'll tell you that. It really was. I got to Phoenix in 1960. I don't remember how long. It was third grade at Capital School on Van Buren. That was a long time ago, and I spent a lot of 120 plus days there, and I am so glad to be someplace that's just nice and cool. What's your high going to be today in Phoenix, Jim?
Oh, I don't know, a million.
200 degrees less than the sun.
Yeah, no doubt. The shade doesn't offer any help here. You know that. There it is. I just moved all my apps around.
T. Vincent says those kittens are a reason enough to go. I'll tell you what, there are kittens. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batches of kittens in different places, in different stages around the place here. Oh, 97. Hey, that's nice and breezy for
the high is only 108.
Oh, it's only 97 now. Your high will be 108. Okay, there you go. That's more like it.
It's going to get all the way down to a chilly 90 degrees though tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm glad to be out of Phoenix. I really am. Now, if I could just get my wife out of there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I like the convenience sometimes of Phoenix, but the sweltering heat. I mean, it's beautiful out here in the wintertime. Since I don't like snow, so you know how that goes.
Well, my wife's been where she's been working for 26 years, and she makes about $1 billion an hour, and she can't let it go. It's hard to let that.
It's a hard thing to pass up, man. Yeah, security.
You work so hard to get to that pinnacle, you know, and you get to that top point where you're just, it's cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. And right now she's waiting until I think November when all this explosive work. She works for Home Depot, a very necessary business. They got to stay open through all the COVID, man. They made money hand over fist. Moose Girl, I'd like to have some conversations with you too. I'll tell you what. Get a pen and paper. Here's my phone number: 602-434-6843. This show is being recorded. You can play it back anytime you want. There's my phone number. It's public. I'll tell you what, I've had my phone number out there to the public. I've been and done millions of people, all this stuff across the country. I have gotten two in 30 years, let's say. I've gotten 2 people call me out of the blue and call my phone and just want to talk to Ed, this guy Ed or whatever they see me as, or you know, they want to talk to Ed. My phone number's always been out there. I tell people all the time, you want to talk to me, call me. I'll tell you all about life. I'll help you. I will change your life. Ed's one of those people. He will impact your life in a positive way that you will never forget. I'm one person, I swear. I don't swear that often, but I swear you'll never forget me. Because you're either going to hate me with all of your guts and just don't like me or whatever, or you're going to find out what a boon to mankind I have become since not having a drop of alcohol since March 22nd of 1983. I'll tell you what. I am a living, walking miracle, ladies and gentlemen, and you can be one too. Just give me a call and I'll tell you how.
Sweet.
Free of charge.
Empty points out, expect your car warranty about to expire. You're going to get some advertisement calls too, probably now.
Hey, healthy disrespect for authority.
Is that the same number as the phone the FBI confiscated?
That is the same number the FBI confiscated, and you too can be recorded and listened to by the FBI by just calling Ed. You want a direct line and say, hey, you know, I know about this or that, but I don't know how to tell the FBI. Well, just give me a call and say it in conversation. That way,
automatic recording.
But just take note. I'm telling everybody, if you call me and you admit to committing a crime, I will report that crime to the proper authorities, because if I don't, they will come and put me in a cage for being complicit. So Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody of all ages, watch what you say in public because what you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
That cracks me up. Freedom of speech. What you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
There was a famous man of way back in I can't remember how many hundreds, but he said, "Give me 6 lines written by any man, and I can hang him with them."
6 lines written by any man.
Yeah, write down 6 lines of 6 sentences. Just write out 6 sentences, and I'll hang you with those 6 because people just can't keep a secret. They can't keep anything in them. They got to have it out. It's got to be out there, and they got to share it. Just the way they are. Hey, I'd like to meet Bud B, whoever your favorite tattoo artist that I am. Like, oh, see, hey, that's so hard that when you go to put on.
I'm clicking comments too sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well,
So that's me probably.
a lot of times I go to click on one and it'll move just before I hit it, and the wrong one will come up, and who knows what comes up. And I had one of them came up that it was really a weird ass comment, and it just flashed on the screen while Adam's in a diatribe, and he went, "Huh?" And it's like, "Oh, sorry, man, I was trying to scroll the screen, and the comment came on the screen." It's like, whoa, that comment lottery can help you, maybe funny, but man, I'll tell you what, it'll bury you.
For sure.
Oh.
I was playing this one. I put up here's the one you were talking about. That was Fendelander from YouTube.
Yeah.
I am partial to Ed. He reminds me of my favorite tattoo artist, Bud B. I wonder if that's a famous tattoo artist or something. Or if that's
I don't
just a local guy. Spotabee69 on YouTube says, "Smoking weed is a crime?" Question.
Some states.
It's not a crime. It's just something that some violent states still happen to lock you in a cage for. A crime insinuates a victim. So, no, smoking weed is not a crime, in my opinion. But it depends on who you ask, I guess, is the real answer to that question.
It depends on where you smoke it. You go to a state that doesn't allow it, you try and smoke it in front of a police officer, you might find out differently. So.
That's true. You smoke. This is a perfectly legal state. Go somewhere that's not in your house and go smoke in front of a cop and see what happens.
Yeah, play the song, dude. Play the song.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Shit. Slacking.
Windy day on the night. Smoke weed all day.
Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed all day.
We hit it twice today because I'm running out of content. I got more content. I got more
What do
stories.
you mean run out of content? Shoot.
I didn't mean to run out of content. I know we can talk for hours. We can talk for hours. I know.
Hey, I thought you were going to open it up. Anybody could come on the show if they wanted to.
I did. I threw the link out there. I threw the link out there multiple times. I'll throw it out there again right now.
Oh, come on. All you great people, come on the show. Come on and say hi.
I even described how you can be like this and you can be an audio caller. You can talk to me as an audio caller if you're camera shy. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, you can be on the show naked if you want. We don't care.
Yeah, you can be naked in bed. You just got to be like, boom, and then you'd be like, oh, look at me, everybody. I'm naked in bed, but you can describe it all you want. You can talk about it all you want. You can troll us. We can kick you off just as easy if you get too hardcore trolling. But do your best,
It's too windy out here today. Shoot.
Yeah. It's having a little smoking weed problems. Sorry to hear that.
Misfire.
Check this out. I thought this was an article, an interesting article from WND.com. Cost to run San Francisco homeless camp is jaw-dropping, nearly $60,000 per tent.
Those reports are just the charges of what it costs. It doesn't reflect what they actually spend on each tent.
Right. It's so ridiculous. And the article goes on, like, I don't know if they were doing it just for a comparison, but for a long time now, the modus operandi, the MO of the progressive left has been, but the problem, just throw money at it till it goes away. They said something in here. Let me see. Oh yeah, they compared it to. They basically said you could save money by assigning one person. Here we go. Jesus Christ. Obviously, this thought experiment isn't perfect. Dang it! I always lose my spot in these things. Oh, here we go. So they were talking about, instead of continuing its current program, San Francisco hired a personal. This is just a thought experiment, by the way. They're not actually doing this, but they're saying it. If instead of renewing their current program, San Francisco hired a personal attendant for each of the roughly 260 homeless people currently living in the city, provided tents. For the sake of argument, assume that each attendant would earn the city's minimum wage and work full-time at 40 hours a week. What would be the cost of the city? The answer is $33,000. So they would be whatever it was that the government actually came up with to give homeless people a tent, a most rudimentary shelter from the elements possible. And it cost them $60,000 per tent. Like, I would love to see a list. I guarantee you it's nowhere near actual value, you know.
No. I understand what's going on here now that you've read enough for me to understand what's going on here. See, the $60,000 per tent, okay? When we start to itemize, where does that $60,000 go? There's $34,000 of it to begin with, right off the top, for my cousin Rodney, who's going to help you set up your tent.
No.
Okay.
No, that's not what that was saying. This was a thought experiment. They're making fun of the $60,000 by saying you could literally hire a personal attendant for every single homeless person, just to have a person to get them what they need and get them food and shit. And if they made the minimum wage of the city at 40 hours a week, that would only cost the city $33,000 total to hire a personal attendant for every single thing on a full 40-hour wage. You know, they're pointing out how ridiculous the $60,000 is, and they're right in that respect. But you know, I don't know. It's ridiculous. For $60,000 per person, what if you? I mean, I don't know. Gave it to the homeless fucking person, you know. That's, you know, I don't know. It just seems like, I feel like I could put a homeless person into a house on a regular scheduled. Everything's paid for them for less than $60,000. You know what I mean? I can have them in an apartment, rent paid, food in their refrigerator, bills paid for less than $60,000. So I don't know.
Yeah, if it weren't for administrative fees.
Yeah, exactly. Administrative fees. Unfortunately, it will take decades for San Francisco and cities to seek to emulate it. Oh, they're talking about somebody else's program.
Empty asks if I've ever seen Dio live. God rest your soul, Ronnie James Dio. Oh man, he's one of the few that I did not get to see, and I would really like to. I'm the man on the silver mountain, man. Oh, that was a hot show.
That would be intense.
God rest his soul.
He's a rocker. Here's an article of ridiculousness. Let me scroll it up so that it's not looking stupid. There's so many advertisements all over the internet. It drives me crazy. So The Legend of Zelda. I used to love that game as a kid, but The Legend of Zelda sells for $870,000 at an auction, a record for a video game. So somebody bought a copy of The Legend of Zelda, an original for Nintendo. I literally remember owning this game, and I can't imagine that it's that impossible to find at some kind of local shop in an unopened case. You know, there's some guy right now, probably a couple dozen people in local mom and pop game shops that sell CDs and video games of old games and buy used and sell trade and all that shit. There's still
Right.
those still do exist. So there's
Yeah.
probably at least a dozen of those people across the country that have one of those that are thinking, "What the fuck? I could retire on this one video game that I have," and now they're gonna spend even more of their own hard-earned money trying to sell all this other stuff as vintage crap. When in reality, it was probably some rich guy that bought it from some other rich guy that I don't know. I just don't understand overpriced sentimental stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was a great game, and yeah, there's all kinds of memories that flood back when I think about it, and I'd love to even play it again, you know, but that person that bought that literally isn't even going to play that, you know. It's, I don't know.
I have one. I have a
Yeah.
copy of it. You bet I do. And then I have the Nintendo platform that it's on, along with about 14 other platforms of video games that I still have the platforms, the games, everything's all. I mean, my entertainment center is massive, you know.
Yeah.
Da-da, 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 da-da,
Original
da-da.
Atari.
Oh man, I remember that. You know what? I'll never forget. I could do it in my sleep. I mean, everybody played the first Mario. Everybody played it, and we played it so much that that song is still ingrained in my brain. I can't get it out. I can't get away from it. I gotta go play Black Sabbath and Ronnie James Dio real loud just to get rid of it for a while.
Yeah, it was a good game. Iconic. Nintendo really put it forward when we.
Yes, Retribution Sender Zero. I am a master wizard. So
I don't know if it's something about the times. I don't know. I always wonder if like kids these days are gonna grow up and have an experience similar to this. But I literally remember going to the store with my mom, my older brother, and two of my sisters to the Toys R Us. My oldest brother, Sean, just saved up enough money, and my parents were going to match him to buy the very first Nintendo system. It was a brand new Nintendo, and it had just come out in the world, and we were all so excited about it. We all went to the store so my brother could buy his a Nintendo for the first time ever. And we all went to the store, and we were all excited, and Mario obviously came with it. We went, I remember the whole thing and the whole ride home. I remember we were in Southern California at the time because I was so young. We went back to the house. I remember the house on Roberts Drive. We went in, played the game for, I couldn't even, probably for weeks straight on end until we were yelled at to go to bed in between intervals, you know, yelled at to go to bed. Then we couldn't play while we were sleeping. When we wake up, you know what we did right after breakfast. We were on that Nintendo. It was ridiculous. I think it has a lot to do with, not to third rail it, but I think it has a lot to do with hand-eye coordination and cognitive abilities. And think about this, another thing, kids hated reading, but video games made them read a lot, like the Zelda. You'd always be questing, and you'd have to read that stuff before you could click the button to scroll to the next page or whatever. So I mean, yeah, you could just sit there and not do it, but I always read it, and that got me engaged in the storylines, which helps with cognitive development. I think, I think video games are a huge benefit to society when used properly.
Jim, we could do a show just on video games alone, because I mean I've been through the computer industry, everything since 1972. Okay, and I've seen the evolution of playing programmed games, of doing the Kobayashi Maru on teletype, all the way through how it developed through where the money came from for the development of the next set of games, and how people reacted to that game and what they liked about it and what they didn't, and what the developers did with the next set. The last sales paid for the development of the next technology, and I bankrolled these things over and over. You bought another deck with another bunch of games that you played, and you came up with it was too wordy, or you had to do too much thinking, and it devolved into Grand Theft Auto and PlayStation, and then it got into, now we're going to link it up to your mind so you don't even have to use a controller to try and You know, because I still got the Nintendo glove. Remember that? You put the glove on and you could do the different things just with, and you put up. I had the bars that you put up so that it creates a field, and where the gloves are and everything in the field of.
I had the running pad for the track and field game.
I did that early, way back when.
I was good. Dude, I was so good at the running track and field game. I was almost like a cheater with my feet to go do like that. My character would run so quick, it was retarded. My brothers and sisters used to hate me for that.
But where is it going? Where's the next phases? Okay, we're going to get into holographics.
Yeah,
where you step into something where there's displays more than displaying a holograph that you step into and interact with the holograph with a suit on, and you're interacting with what's going on.
Yeah. It's
going to get real live, and then before you know
it, reality is actually pretty intense. Look, virtual reality is actually pretty intense. Me and my daughter used to frequent. We still every once in a while do this place that has it's $5 per person, and you can play a game's worth of virtual reality, and their setup is pretty legit. It has the thing that holds up from the top, and you're just in an open area, and all you have is your helmet that's connected to a wire, obviously.
Right.
And it's a shooter game. It's like a zombie shooter game, and it's intense, dude. It's like really good graphics, really good immersion, really good what do you call it's latency. I don't know, the delay isn't bad. It's a cool experience. We've done it multiple times, and it's really cool. So they're getting there. They're just not readily available yet. We got some callers too.
All right, good. Have you seen the 3D videos?
Yeah. I've seen 3D videos.
I think that's pretty damn cool, where it depends on which direction your phone is pointing of what you see in the video.
Yeah.
You got to watch it 5 or 6 times in order to see everything in the video. That includes stuff up in the air and all kinds of. That's part of the stuff that's going to go into the next generations of these games. I'm telling you that the games, games is just a name for technological development advancement money, because every money you buy for a game gives that company money to develop the next games. That's how it works. Okay, awesome. We're paying technology to come up with how to make us submit complete and totally, and we have no choice because that's the way it is. That's what's going to happen. But they're going to make their own Matrix, and if you want to be in it, great. If you don't, well,
I might have to dabble. I might have to dabble inside the Matrix. I might have to.
I'm
one of those people that need to experience things. I'm one of those people that I want to experience everything. I don't know if there's a Matrix and there's a way to get into it or out of it. I want to experience both of those things, getting into it and then getting out of it, and see both realities. I want to experience everything.
In the first Matrix movie, we see, is it the first or the second? When we see Neo sit up in the real world and they unjack his head, that thing out of the back of his head, and they show the back of his head and that receptacle in there.
Yeah.
Imagine you going in and say, I want one of those receptacles put into the back of my head, and you're going to the hospital to have one put in. Is that what you're telling me when you say you want to dabble?
No. If you think about it, what I'm saying to you is, don't they have in the Matrix natural human beings that were born in the real world that they can still connect themselves into the Matrix? They can see into the Matrix.
No, I don't. What they could see was what was
then that's the difference between the movie and reality. In reality, the actual humans will be able to tap into the Matrix feed without getting the government approved injections of the large bullshit and things all down your back. We'll be able to, maybe I'll have to poke something into something, but I'll be the one doing it, and I'll know what technology I'm using, and I'll know how it works, and I'll know who created it, and I'll trust the person who's monitoring me while I'm on my trip into the Matrix. Boom, I'll plug myself in. We'll have all of our safeguards. This is 20 years from now. So
No, it's not, because I've seen a couple of the newest toys that really intrigued me. I haven't bought them yet, but I'm going to go out and buy one of each one of them. They've got a toy set, a toy that you set up, and there's things that float around in the air, and then you actually control where they go with your thought.
I heard
Okay.
about that. Yeah, I'm a skeptic.
I want to try it. I want to see what it's about. How is it? How is it? How is it sensing the change in my thought? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I would like to
That's my next experiment as a grown-up kid, because my book says you can't get into heaven unless you become as a child, and I've kept every bit of the childness, childlike. I'm a big kid, man. I like to have fun.
I would love to know how that shit works as well. All right, we only got a little bit left in the show, so I'm going to drop you down and get to our callers and see what they're all about.
Moose Girl, yay!
Here we go. Okay, yeah, Moose Girl's calling. We're going to do an audio call, so she's going to demonstrate how you do an audio call. Yeah. Bam! How's it going?
Good. How are you, Jim?
I'm very good. Thanks for calling in.
Good.
Thanks for participating. This is fun.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I wish people would do it more, just to either give an opinion, just to say something, like I imagine it being like on a radio show where people just call in and they say something they wanted to say, and then,
right.
And that becomes like a thing, what I mean?
It is not difficult.
It's super easy. And the audio, you're showing people that they can be
audio
camera
only.
shy, and audio only is perfectly fine. So
right. Exactly.
Enlighten us. What do you have for us? What would you like to say?
I was just thinking about the homelessness situation, and how I think a lot of this is by design. What's going on? It's been going on my whole life, and I'm over 50, so just being able to see through it is a good thing.
Definitely. When you say by design, are you referring to like the government?
Yeah.
Creating more homelessness? Yeah.
Right. And everything else that's going on.
Yeah, the police state, everything all rolled up into one. Yeah.
Right,
I would
right.
imagine.
Right. And it reminds me a lot of like the 70s. Lately, I've been feeling like it's similar. So, that just reinforces my belief that history does repeat itself often. And yeah, they're practicing population control on many levels, in my opinion. Homelessness being one of them. They don't care if homeless people die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They could do more about it if they really wanted to, and if they gave a crap, but they really don't.
Wow. So. Yeah, that's true and unfortunate. I've noticed even around Phoenix, it's definitely growing. The population is definitely growing. But what I've noticed is I've seen people that I swear, like I'm referring to them as freshly homeless because I can tell they're freshly homeless. They don't have holes in their socks yet, and they're not down to just their socks yet. You know what I mean? And shit like that.
Yep.
I don't know. There's a way you can tell sometimes. And there's been all of our freeway exits are starting to have people at every one of them, and they're starting to be at multiple sides.
Even here too, in my town, and I don't live in a major city, but we have that
and
here.
Who it is just, it's not the people you think. They're not all. I mean, there are a lot of them. A lot of them become homeless, then get addicted to drugs because they're using drugs to cope with their homelessness.
Right.
They're not drug addicts that end up homeless because they spent all their money on drugs and now they don't have anything else but drugs left in their life. Yeah, that does happen, and that does obviously happen. But in the majority of cases, from what I understand, and I've talked to a lot of homeless people around here, I give to them all the time. Not every time, but a lot of times whenever I have it, whenever I feel comfortable for the week, I give when I can. And I usually try to talk to them. I usually try to have a conversation with them, and I just tell them stay positive, and there's people out there that love, and people that help and make it better, and a lot of them want to get out of that. It's just really hard. I couldn't even imagine.
I
couldn't
can't
imagine.
either. Yeah, it's becoming more and more of a problem. I saw the first tent in a park here in my town just last week.
Oh, wow.
And usually the homeless around here, they make camps by the river and kind of stay out of sight. But that was the first time I saw someone actually have a tent up in a park.
Wow.
Was last week.
Horrible.
So, and I live in Eau Claire. It's not a huge city. It's not a major city, about 90 miles from Minneapolis and St. Paul, but in Wisconsin. And yeah, we have our issues here, and the homelessness and the drug issue do tend to go hand in hand. Meth is a huge problem here right now for us. I think it is all over the country, but
Yeah.
it's becoming more and more of an issue for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're all aware here that the government is the issue. The government's the problem, the proprietor
Right.
and the problem.
Right?
Well, thank you for calling and
You're welcome.
and bringing that up. I really appreciate it. One more thing I'll add. I don't know if you've seen it, but Honor Your Oath is a YouTube channel. He's like a First Amendment auditor, and his channel lately has been, he goes around and his protest is literally, his First Amendment audit is literally, he'll have his camera right here and he'll go to a place like a police station or whatever, and just with a sign that says "God bless the homeless."
Oh, okay.
So
I'll check
it's
it out.
awesome. Yeah, and he's doing it to, like you said, he just kind of trying to raise awareness about the fact of growing homelessness in the country, and it's
Cool.
just something that needs talked about, and if we're ever hoping to fix it. So thanks again for calling.
Thank you.
All right, now we got another caller. We got Phil. Phil, give me a thumbs up backstage if you're ready. He's calling on video. He's got a nice professional looking setup there. He has a question for me. He has a question for Ed as well. We'll start with me, and then we'll bring Ed on when he gets to his Ed. How you doing, Phil?
Crap. Good, buddy. I was actually just to kind of, I mistyped that. So Gandalf the Gray or Gandalf the White?
That's your question for me. I have to say Gandalf the White, I guess. Gandalf the Gray is awesome and traditional, and I love him to death, but you got to give it to Gandalf the White. I mean, the man, smote the freaking smote the enemy on the mountainside and went through a lifetimes and lifetimes of experience, and he is the all-knowing at this point. So yeah, I got to give it to the man. He's
Okay.
Gandalf the White.
All right. Kind of with you on that. I'm kind of curious as to what Ed's position is.
Okay. All right, Ed, here we come. What do you think?
I have smote the Balrog that is alcohol. Fought that demon so hard. We fell and fell and fell and battled all the way down until we crashed. I know I crashed.
Literally my
Goodbye,
favorite scene in the
Sauron.
whole trilogy. It's like my favorite scene in the whole trilogy.
I've come a long way since then.
I actually have a little sculpture of Balrog being
Nice.
smitten by Gandalf.
I have
Oh,
smoked him myself in the Lord of the Rings video game. I've gotten to
That's
that point.
awesome. Oh yeah, you guys were talking about video games, and I was like, it kind of inspired me. So, because
Nice.
when Ed started talking about the Legend of Zelda and like all of the cartridges that he has, and you guys are getting into that, I'm like, I'm with you on that, man.
Somebody even brought up Oregon Trail in the comments.
I
grew up with a Commodore 64, so I mean, it was I'm with you, Ed.
I have a 4-track tape of the Who's album Armenia Baked Beans.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's old enough that I don't even know what the hell that is.
It's
Right
That
now.
was before 8-track tapes. I'm gonna assume that
Yes.
predated the 8-track.
I recorded, I think, one of my first songs on a 4-track when I was young.
yeah, it's about $100.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never done
So-
anything with no 8-tracks. It was cassette tapes by the time I was cognitive and age. I'm an 80s.
Well, it wasn't an
kid.
8-track, but I do remember a cassette tape 4-track. That's what when I was young, it was like
Yeah.
a cassette tape 4-track. Then we kind of moved to an 8-track and blah blah blah.
I wished I had kept my Betamax player. Man, I carried that for so long, and I finally said it was so monstrous. It's like, why am I hauling this around? I got rid of it. It's like I should have kept it because it was a dinosaur. It was a great dinosaur. Wow, it was something. Just to show off. Yeah, this used to be what this little app on your phone does.
Yeah,
Right.
All right, Phil. Well, thanks. I appreciate you calling in and demonstrating that you can even call in just for random fun questions. That's you don't have.
Yeah,
to have
I just
any
wanted to
serious-
say hi to you guys. Really, that's all. I just
Totally.
Thank you so
That's
much.
really awesome, man. We really
Yeah.
appreciate you calling. The
I
show's
love you
almost over. We
guys.
only got a few minutes left, so
All right, one last thing. Adam Kokesh for president.
yeah. Here, do it one more time. I'll give you full screen for that.
Adam Kokesh for president.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, guys.
That was awesome. That's
It's a
awesome.
pleasure
That-
serving with you, Jim.
Thank you very much, sir. I didn't notice. I wasn't watching the comments the whole time. I didn't notice any. Did anybody meme my picture of the cat?
Maybe one or two at the beginning, but nothing noteworthy.
Nothing noteworthy. Nothing that's gonna get us.
Let it
that's
ride.
a beautiful picture. Screenshot that. Anybody that's watching right now should screenshot that and think on it and meme it, filter, or, crop it out, meme it, and send it to me on Facebook, Jim Freedom, or whatever. Tag me on Instagram or find me one way or another. You can even email it to me, jim@freedomline.com. That's an easy way to do it. Send me those memes. I would love to have it. All right, Ed. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, so that was an amazing and very fun way to close out the show with that last caller asking about Gandalf, and coincidentally, one of my favorite scenes of the whole trilogy involving Gandalf. So that's fun. T.me/Adam vs. Man. I have to apologize ahead of time right now because I've been closing links as it's a habit of mine. When Mr. Kokesh is on, I have to close links when we're done with them because my computer can't keep up with the amount of data. So T.me/Adam vs. Samantha. Today's public Telegram chat probably won't have all the links we just talked about because I closed many of them already. So I'm sorry about that, but I'll get some other links up there and I'll see what I can do about anything else. But we're going to be ready for tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show, you're going to have links before the show even starts, so you'll know what we're talking about before the show even starts. So definitely get yourself involved there. Patreon.com/Adam vs. the Man. That's where you can go to support the show. $1, $5, $10, or $50 a month. $10 a month to get you access to the private producers club, which is a good time where we get links from for the show. And also on Patreon, this Saturday is going to be a special live edition from Phoenix, where the big dummy that used to be the president, used to call himself your master, is going to be blabbing on a bunch of nonsense in the stage full of dummies soon on the 24th. So look forward to that on Patreon. HomefrontBattleBuddies.com, excellent veterans nonprofit you should look more into. All donations sent there are tax deductible, which is outstanding. So you can send $1 million there and deduct it off of your taxes for your multi-billion-dollar corporation. Instagram @the Garden of Freedom. It's a wonderful place to see all the pictures and videos of everything that's going on up there in Gardenia. You got a live shot of it earlier today if you were with us, but if you're not, you can check out most of the property there at the Garden of Freedom. The Crypto6.com, those people still need your help. The Bitcoin church that was raided, they're still facing legal issues. Some of them have been released from cages. One of them, as far as I know of, is not with Mr. Nobody, and just Nobody, but I say Mr. Nobody so that to avoid confusion, you understand. You can find his address to the cage he's being held in, so you can write him an encouraging note if you can, and from the Crypto6.com. And lastly, GoGreenEnergyOnline.com is the best website for do-it-yourselfers looking to learn more about self-sustaining energy, looking solar power, micro wind power, off-grid homes, etc. So I hope you enjoyed the show, everybody. I got 50 more seconds of slow rambling to click around into. Thank you. Oh yeah, all you need is love. That is my love. These are the creators, the beautiful creators of Jim Freedom right there. All you need is love, and they give me that. And and a dog. This is a picture of my beautiful dog who's hanging out somewhere else right now. Sorry, I wanted to put him on stage. Darn it! Thanks everybody. Thank you for the call-ins. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for participating. It's always a good time. I love every single one of you. It's always a good time. Thank you very much. And I'll try to mimic Adam's. Peace and love, y'all. Choose happiness and be excellent to each other.